These two boats are about a foot apart in length. One is asking $798,567. The other is asking $1,098,635. Same builder, same dealer lot in Clearwater, Florida. Same basic offshore job, $300,068 apart. So what exactly are you buying for the extra 300 grand? The cheaper one is the 2026 Invincible 39 Open Fisherman. The pricier one is the 2026 Invincible 40 Catamaran. Both numbers are asking prices, not confirmed sales, so keep that in mind. But for the next 15 minutes, treat this as your money, because that's the only way this argument actually means anything. You fish offshore. You can write a check for either boat. Tomorrow morning, which set of keys are you taking home? If your gut says the cat costs more because cats always cost more, hold that thought for about 30 seconds. Walk to the back of both boats. The 39 runs triple Mercury 400 V10S, 1,200 horsepower. The cat runs quad Mercury 425S, 1,700 horsepower. The 39 is 11 feet wide. The cat is 12. The 39 carries 550 gallons of fuel. The cat carries 800. Ready to fish, the 39 weighs 16,700 pounds. The cat weighs 21,500. So maybe this isn't just a cat tax. You're also paying for another engine, another 500 horsepower, more beam, more fuel, more weight. Fine. But if you're spending another 300 grand, what does the cat actually do better out there? Because that's the only question that matters here. The answer cat owners give first, every single time, is the ride. The 39 isn't a soft target to beat. Invincible builds it with 24.5 degrees of transom dead rise, a legitimate offshore deep V, the kind of hull anglers have trusted for decades. So the cat isn't just trying to be good. At this price, it has to make a genuinely good monohull feel like the compromise. Rough water is where it gets its shot. Two narrower hulls, a tunnel between them, and on many designs, air gets compressed through that tunnel as speed builds, cushioning the ride. That's the pitch. Boat Tests' Lenny Rudo has actually run cats and comparable monohulls side by side, measuring impacts with an accelerometer. His finding: properly operated cats repeatedly recorded lower measured impacts. Hang on to those two words, properly operated. We're coming back to them. Picture what that means with real money on the line. You leave before daylight. The fish are 60, maybe 80 miles out. Last night's forecast looked fine. It doesn't anymore. Every few seconds, the boat's asking you the same question: slow down or keep running. That's where ride quality stops being a brochure line. It's how hard everyone's hanging on, how fast you can keep moving, how wrecked you feel stepping onto the dock. If a boat genuinely takes some of that punishment away, the extra $300,068 starts looking different. Not cheap, not reasonable yet. Different. Eventually you stop running, because now you're fishing. Three guys move to the same rail, someone hooks up, another comes around the console to help. And the biggest reason people fall for cats is sitting right under all of them: initial stability. Spread the hulls apart, and many power cats resist that first bit of roll far more than a deep V does. Boat US points to exactly that, the wide hull spacing, as one of the main reasons anglers get pulled toward the design. Put both pieces together, softer impacts running out, a more planted deck once you stop. That's not two hulls looking interesting at a boat show. That's two things offshore fishermen feel all day long. And if those happen to be the two things you hate most about your current boat, maybe you're starting to understand why somebody signs for a cat. Maybe the cat's winning this one. Which is exactly when you should get suspicious, because there's another promise that gets repeated just as often: efficiency. And when we go back to these two particular Invincibles, the boat getting more miles out of every gallon isn't the one with two hulls. If you own a boat or offshore fishing boats are your thing, subscribe to Boat Verdict. Here are Invincible's own numbers. Not a lab test, not a controlled cat versus monohull comparison, just what the manufacturer published on these two boats. The 39 tested with triple 400S, 47.5 miles an hour, 1.03 miles per gallon. The cat tested with quad 400S, worth flagging since the boat on the price tag actually runs the larger 425S, 43.2 miles an hour, 0.92 miles per gallon. At those specific published cruise points, the monohull's faster and it's going farther on every gallon. Probably not what you expected walking in. But don't crown the monohull yet. This isn't an apples-to-apples hull test. The Cat's heavier, wider, running an extra engine and carrying 250 more gallons in its standard tanks. Different boats, different weights, different engine counts, different hulls, so this doesn't prove monohulls are more efficient than Cats in general. It proves something narrower and more honest. Two hulls do not automatically guarantee better fuel economy. Turn those numbers into gallons burned per hour, and it's easier to picture. The 39 burns roughly 46 gallons an hour. The Cat burns roughly 47. Almost identical burn rate. The 39 just covers more water in that same hour. Now here's the twist. 550 gallons versus 800. The Cat doesn't need to win the efficiency argument to still offer serious range, because part of that range has nothing to do with hull design. It's just carrying more fuel. Range and efficiency sound like the same thing when somebody's trying to sell you a boat. They're not. One means doing more with every gallon. The other just means showing up with 250 more of them. Which puts us right back at the transom. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 outboards. The sea trial's over, the boat's yours, and the hour meters are already turning. The problem with the fourth engine isn't that it suddenly makes the Cat impossible to own. It's that every advantage we keep adding to this boat comes back with something attached to it. More horsepower, more service, more fuel capacity, more weight, more boat to own. Do the math before you panic, though. 3 engines versus 4 isn't the Cat costing 4 times as much to own. It's one more engine needing its own oil change, its own gear case, its own hours on the clock. That's 33% more engines than our triple engine 39. Not 33% more total ownership cost. That's a different, much lazier claim. Here's the twist that should bother anyone blaming this entirely on catamarans. Invincible rates the 39 Open Fisherman for up to 1,800 horsepower, more than the Cat's published max of 1,700, and the 39 itself can be ordered in triple or quad power. So Cat equals crazy horsepower, monohull equals simple, doesn't survive either. This isn't really a Cat problem. This is what the modern offshore center console has become across the board. Huge power, huge range, huge capability, huge money. The Cat boom is happening right in the middle of that shift, not off to the side of it, which makes the width complaint worth a second look too. Ours is 12 feet wide, the monohull's 11. That extra foot can matter for your lift or your slip. But 11 feet was never exactly narrow to begin with. Right about here, the Cats survived more of this argument than you probably expected. Ride, real. Stability, real. Efficiency, more complicated than the slogan. The extra engine costs something, sure, but the monohull was never the simple, cheap option either. So maybe the Cat really is worth it. Except we left 2 words hanging back at the start. Properly operated. Here's where they matter. This is exactly why properly operated mattered a few minutes ago. Everything below favors a Cat that's handled right, not one left on autopilot in the wrong conditions. Many power Cats have very high initial stability, and that's a big part of their appeal at the rail. But initial stability isn't the whole story. Boat Test and Boat US both describe something that can show up on some power Cats called snap roll. The boat feels planted right up until one hull drops and the other snaps back up, faster and sharper than the slower roll a monohull gives you. It's a different kind of stability behavior showing up under different conditions, not the same trait working against itself. Cats pound, some say. Boat Test warns that load matters. Push those narrower hulls deeper, and on some designs, in some conditions, the tunnel underneath can start meeting the waves. Boat guys call it tunnel slap. Weight placement can matter a lot on some power Cats. Fuel, ice, gear, people. But some designs, some conditions is not the same claim as all Cats pound. Cats sneeze too. Mist blowing forward out of the tunnel and back over the boat. Real, documented, and again, some Cats, not every hull, not every sea state. Notice what's happening. The anti-Cat crowd is making the same mistake as the pro-Cat crowd. One tunnel slaps in bad conditions, therefore all Cats pound. While owners keep arguing about that, the builders already made their decision. Not long ago, offshore cats were still treated like the alternative. Catamarans didn't remove the compromises from offshore boats. They traded one set for another and gave builders a new place to keep pushing. So the real question was never really cat or monohull. It's which problem annoys you enough to pay to make it smaller. If you want more buyer-level breakdowns of offshore fishing boats, subscribe to Boat Verdict. It's your money tomorrow morning. Which keys are you taking? If it's the cat, what does it actually do better that earns the extra $300,068? If it's the monohull, what's the one thing cat owners still haven't convinced you of?